Alright peeps, I'm Dino and welcome to my humble little garage on the side of my house. And what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be fitting new chain sprockets on my 2017 Aprilia RSV 4 RF. There she is there. She's a beauty. Love this bike. Absolute animal it is.
Let's go!
So what I've acquired or got myself is new sprockets and chain. I've bought a Renthal rear sprocket, which is super light by the way. Like, you can pick this up with nothing. It's brilliant. Front sprocket again, Renthal, and a DID X ring chain in gold because we like gold. So what I need to do, I'll bring you down here. This is the old chain, obviously, which isn't too bad. It's a bit dirty, you know. It's not too bad at all, really. But I want to swap it over and get this done. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some chain cleaner on the chain and get it a bit clean. So while I'm taking it off and it's laying about and that, it's not going to be too grimy. And then I think what we'll have to do is we will start by taking off the cover for the front sprocket and have a look at that. And then I'm going to have to grind off a link on the chain, on these links, and get the chain off. So I'm just going to clean the chain up now, and I won't show you that because that's crap and boring. But once I've got that done, I'll come back to you and we'll start taking the cover off for the front sprocket. See you in a bit. Alright, so chain's a bit more clean, looking a little bit better. So what we want to do now is we want to take off the cover for the front sprocket. Now there seems to be 1, 2, 3 bolts there. Now I don't know if there's anything under this because it's tucked down behind that, so we will find that out in a minute. It might be that it just slides out, but that's why we're going to find out in there, because we both don't know what we're doing at the moment. So here we go. So what you're going to need is an 8mm and a ratchet for these bolts. So let's get these off, shall we? So what looks like it's going to be best to do is we're going to need to take off the gear linkage. Now when taking off the gear linkage, just give it a little mark in here. Just put a little mark on the spline where that bit is there, so you know how to line that back up when it goes back on. So let's get that off. That's it. So you need a 5mm Allen key. Loosen that off. Get this bolt out. Just pop this off. So just be careful of the cable for the auto blipper. Just here. Now that comes away. There we go. As you can see, it just slides out from behind there, and that is off. There is our front sprocket, and look at the state of it in there. We're going to have to clean all that up. So it looks like we've got a 13mm bolt there. Oh, what a mess. Okay, so what I do, we're gonna have to, next step is we're gonna crack this bolt off. So bear with me 1 second and I'll get the tools. Alright, so casing's off. I've put all the bolts that come off the casing back in their holes, just so I know where they are and I ain't gonna lose them. Either that or put them in a pot and just remember which way they go. The longer one is up the top, 2 short ones at the bottom. I also, with the bottom one, that the whole stud come out with that. That actually holds your chain guard, the bottom chain guard. You know, like your plastic one you have at the top, you got one at the bottom. That was caked as well, so I just took that out, give it a bit of a clean. It's looking a bit cleaner in there now. Got rid of a lot of the gunk. It's not perfect, but I think once that front sprocket comes off I can give it a bit more of a thorough clean on there. It's always worth doing that while you're taking stuff apart, because you're probably not going to do this again for a little while. So next step is we're going to crack off this front sprocket bolt. I believe it's a 13mm. If you bear with me 1 second. Yep, 13mm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gear linkage back on. I'm going to stick it in gear. If I can. That's it, and get that in gear. And then I'm just going to break it off. Right, so break this off. I put it in gear, but I don't like too much tension on the actual transmission, so what I've got is I've got my beautiful assistant, Sarah. She's going to put her foot on the rear brake for me, and that's going to hold that in place even more. So let's get this nut loosened off. You ready?
Yep.
There we go. That's all loosened off now. Loosen it a little bit. I'm not going to take it all the way out for a minute. There we go. Thank you for your help, Sarah.
You're very welcome.
Right, so now that bit's cracked off, what we're going to do now is I'm going to grind off a link in the old chain. So we're just going to grind one of them off, and then we need to get the chain tool to be able to push the pin out. So I'm just going to go get, I'm probably going to use a Dremel. You can use angle grinder or anything like that, but I used a Dremel before on my Suzuki, which is over at my mate's at the moment, so I've got a bit of room to work, and it worked fine. So I just used a little grinding pad on the Dremel. So let me get my Dremel and we get one of these pins off. Right, what I've decided is actually, before I actually grind that pin off, I'm gonna crack each one of these nuts off, just so it makes the process easier once we've got the wheel off, to be able to get them off, because it can be a pain when you've got the wheel sliding about and you're trying to undo them. So I think this time I'm just going to crack each one off. So what I do that in gear because these aren't as tight. So I've already cracked that one off. Stick it in neutral, spin to the next one, stick it in gear again, that's it, stick it in neutral, on to the next one. I think that was all of them. Yep. So they're all loosened off now, so that's going to make the process a bit easier. Now we get to grinding the chain off. Alright. So we got here now, got a little Dremel, just a little grinding bit there. This worked last time on my Suzuki, so hopefully it's going to work again now. Remember, when you're doing this, always wear your eye protection, because I lost an eye, but I found it again. Right. So just be careful with it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of a towel over here just to stop anything hitting up and messing up any of the wheels or anything like that. should be okay really, but we'll do that anyhow. So let's crack on with that then. Oh, here we go. I'm going to choose this one. Alright, so reason we do this is because when you use your chain braking tool, there's less pressure now than trying to push one of these things through. A lot of people end up breaking their tool because of that and bending the pins. So this means it should push through a lot easier. So let me get my chain tool and we'll have a go again now then. Right. So that's grinded with my, by the way, this is Audi Special, middle aisle, does the job, so why not? But for the price it was, even if it broke and you got to use it a couple of times, it was worth it. So now then, onto chain braking tool, which is this is it here. I'm going to show you, because in most videos they don't show you how to use this and how to put it together. Basically what you've got here, you've got two nuts here, one's an inner shaft, one's an outer. So what you want to do is, this one was from Amazon, pretty cheap, it's already done one job for me, so this is going to be the second chain. Let's see how it goes. So what you need to do to set it up to push the pin out is you need to take off this bit here that comes on it, unless your chain has a smaller pin. Mine's the biggest pin. That will direct a smaller pin through, so you'd put that on. To put the pin in, you'd undo this back bit here. Come out. Any day today. There we go. Now mine's the biggest pin, which is this one in the kit. And you need to put spring in the end, just pop that in, then you put your pin in on top and you can screw this back in until the pin starts coming out of here. You see it there? Happy days. Right, let's get that about there. So let it protrude a little bit. Now the idea is there is a hole in the back here. We want to be pushing this pin through that grinded off link so the pin comes out the other end. So what we do, see if I can show you. So if you can see here, I'm going to get on the back of the link I've grinded, so that hooks in. And I'm going to wind this up. After grinding the link, by the way, to show you, it's quite hard to see where the centre of it will be, but you want to get that nice and smooth so there's no flares or anything, so even if you grind a bit of that link there. So the pin's going to be kind of in the middle, and then what we want to do, hook that on the back. We're going to wind this up to where I think that pin's going to be. Boom. Then we're going to put your little bar in there, and we're going to twist that, and hopefully it will start pushing that pin out, which it is. There you go, I'm turning that. If you can see in there, I'm not sure if you can. Bear with me a second. You can see every time I'm turning it, it's starting to push the pin out. God, that is quite hard to see. Sorry about my camera work, I'm not a cameraman. And there we go. It's coming out nicely. See, it's pushing through, so second and I'll get this done. Okay, that's gone now. Back it all back off again. Whee. I can actually see the pin in the back. There it is. It is out. That is your chain now broken. There you go. Right, so now that is out. So next thing I'm going to do now is I am going to have to take the rear wheel off. So what I've got on mine, I've got these protection bungs, so I'm going to have to undo them and then my hub nut. But what I might do first is I'm going to back off my chain adjusters and just make it nice and loose, so when I slide it in for the new chain it won't be so tight to put on, basically. So bear with me 1 second and we get a wheel off. Right, so I'm just going to take off these crash bobbins. 30mm on my one. You probably might not have this on yours. If I get out your way, it's literally got a socket on one side and another one on the other side. It's basically a bar that just goes through the middle. Do that. Nice and loose now. There we go. That's it. And that is how that is held. With a nut on that side. There we go. Right, next I'm going to back off the chain with our adjusters in there. Then I'm going to crack off the rear axle nut. I'll give you all the torque specs on this later when we come to do it again. Right, so mine is this sort of setup. So I need to back off this nut, which is your locking nut, and then wind this in, which is a bar, this is your chain adjuster there. So I'm going to need a 10mm and a 13mm spanner. Let me go get one. Right, so I'm going to crack this nut off. That's it. Let's just wind that in. Lovely. And then I'll do the same on the other side. I use my 10mm spanner to wind this adjuster in. There you go, it goes nice and loose. It is cold today, people. It is actually 31st of December, so it's New Year's Eve 2025. And this is what I'm doing. I'm not going out tonight. Me and my missus are going to get a takeaway and just chill out, because it does get expensive this time of year now, doesn't it, to go out and do anything, especially if you like a drink while you're out. Right, that's one side. That's probably enough. I'll do the other side now. Hello. If I bring you over here, now what I want to do next is where I'm going to be cracking off the nut on the other side, and we're going to be taking this spindle out on this side, that way. The wheel's then going to be loose and we can pull it off. Now we need to pull it off of the brake, out of the brakes as well, but before we do that, always take your ABS sensor out, which is a little, you can see that, there you go, little 7 or 8mm bolt. Always pop that out, because you do not want to be damaging that on the inside when you're pulling that wheel about, because otherwise you'll have to replace it, and we don't want to do that, do we? So let me crack the nut off on the other side, which is a big nut. Yep, so you've got a 32mm nut, socket, sorry, for the nut. I'm going to be using a torque wrench to break it off. I haven't got it set to anything, it's all wound completely off. People will probably moan about that, so you shouldn't do that. But again, Audi special, middle aisle. Thank you very much. Nice and cheap. There we go. Alright, so that nut is nice and loose. So now what I'm going to do, get the bike back in neutral. Yeah. Right. There we go, it's neutral. And I'm going to pull the old chain off. So, and I'm going to put it through. Without getting it jammed up. There we go. That, as you can see, is the chain off. Stick that down there because it's filthy. Okay, so now back to this. I'm going to unscrew this all the way off. There is a little washer there as well, so I want to keep that along with the nut. Now let's take the ABS sensor off. Right then, so here's your ABS sensor right here, little black plug looking thing, and it's got one little bolt there. Now this bolt is actually a 7mm. I'm just going to crack it off. That's it. These aren't done up tight, you don't want to do them up tight at all anyway. I'm just going to wind that bolt out, and then hopefully this ABS sensor comes out nice and easy. Sometimes they can be a little bit stuck. You use a little bit of WD-40 or something, give it a squirt around it. That's it, comes out nice. There's your ABS sensor. We just fold that out of the way so it don't get knocked. The reason it'll get knocked is because it is very tight up against the ABS ring, and it's only got a tiny little gap, so if you're bashing this wheel about and it's hitting that, you can damage it. So it's best to just take that off. Right, let's get the wheel off then. Okay, so now we've got the nut off the other side, we need to push the axle through. Now you've got these little blocks on this one, so these will come off as well. They're your adjuster blocks and they make it sit within the gullies nicely. So let me see if I can push it through first. Just get a bit of weight off the wheel. You see it's pushing through, lovely. You need to be careful because you need to pull it out of the brake caliper as well from in between the pads. So get a little bit of weight underneath it, or even use your knee under there as well to help to pull. Just pull it up. Let's grab this spindle, he says. Okay, that's not going through now, so next thing you want to do is just give it a little knock with a rubber mallet. A mallet or dead blow, something that's not going to hurt the threads. Okay, it's coming out more now. Just pull that out. There we go, that is out. Lay that down. I'm just going to gently come backwards with it. Now it's out of the caliper. And you want to make sure you don't lose these. These are your wheel spacers. You want to keep them, sometimes they can fall out. And we just watch the caliper there, you don't want to scratch your wheels. The caliper wheel slide off of its slider there. Now we're past that, we can roll the wheel out. I'll just show you in here. See your caliper? It's got a little elongated hole which sits on this pin like so, and that will sit there, and then your axle goes through it as well. And there's your pads. Oh, my pads are getting low, so they're going to be doing soon. And there you go. So we'll leave that like that for now until we need to put it back on. I might give that a clean up in there as well. You might as well clean stuff while you've got it off, because it's harder to do with stuff in a way. Who would have thought? Anyway, right. It's always worth cleaning it all up, and I keep saying that. So I've cleaned up in here. Got this as nice as I can. I cleaned along the chain guide, all in there, top and bottom, and I've cleaned all in here as well. So it's worth doing, and the bottom chain guide there. So yeah, next, let's get this sprocket off. So there's 2 washers. Out comes your bolt, and sprocket, which is pull off. Just note the way that it goes on. So we've got a bit of a recess there on that side, and it's funny on that side. So what we do, I'm going to stick the bolt in like that, so I know that's the way it came off. I'd had already taken that off, and I cleaned up in there as well, just to get it done. Once you've cleaned up, what I've done is I've added a bit of grease on bits that move. So along these sliders here, with inside of there where the axle goes, again just around these slider bits, so everything moves nice and freely. And I've also done it on the pin which locates on the caliper. So that is it. So the next bit we're going to do is we're going to get that filthy sprocket off of there. So I'm going to go over to my bench, get the wheel on. We can take that off and get a new one on. Here we go. Alright peeps, so I'm over at my bench now. I've got my wheel on there. Now that is a filthy wheel. I'm disgusting, you know. I took it out for a ride, and then problem with these, people that have got Aprilia with these funny sort of, I don't know, sandpapery type wheels, they're a nightmare to keep clean, and they're a nightmare to clean. Right, but anyway, let's get on with it. So we've got here, we're going to be changing the sprocket now. We cracked our nuts off earlier. That's what she said. For anybody who needs to know, with your sprockets, majority of the time if you clean them up, you'll see a number on them. That one says Z41. That 41 will stand for how many teeth are on this. I'm sticking to standard gearing on my bike because, to be honest with you, this does not need any more wheelie power or anything like that with the gearing, or even the top end. It is fine how it is. It doesn't need it. It is stupidly quick. But what we're going to do first is what I've already done it, but I popped this out of the cush rubbers like so, and I've just applied a little bit of grease around the bearing area, and I've applied a bit of grease on each stem for the cush, just to keep them nice and moving freely, basically. So let's stick that back in there. That's what I prepared earlier. So now what we're going to do, we are going to take these nuts off. Here we go. Now these nuts will have a torque setting when you put your new one on. I will find that out, and I shall get back to you on that, what it is, because I'm going to need to know it, aren't I? Let's just undo these quickly. Alright. So, we'll pop this all off as one. Got a little shim there, we'll keep that in there, and then we've got, let me put the camera down so I can show you properly. Oh, that's a bit better. So it's going to come apart. Got the sprocket, got the shim, keep the shim in there nicely, and then you've got your bearing. So we put that aside. There's the old sprocket off. So what we're going to do now is go get a new one. This sprocket didn't look bad at all, to be honest. Hey ho, I'm changing it anyway. Down there. There is the new Brentford. And honestly, this thing, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't weigh anything. Pretty sure you got it. 41 teeth. So then what we're going to do, we're going to lay this on the top. Beautiful. And then lay this. That's all nice and clean. I'll stick a little bit of grease in here as well. I'm just using normal grease on these. Stick a little bit in there. Lovely, lovely. Can't hurt to have a bit more grease in there, can it? Yeah. Beautiful. Nice thing. Now I'm just going to plop this on top. Lovely. There we go. Now what next with these is they are going to have a torque setting for these nuts, so I'm going to go find out what that is, let you know when we get these nuts on. Alright, so what I've done now, cleaned up your retaining ring. We've greased all the cush bearing bits there. I've greased the bearings inside there. I've also greased the bearings inside of here, just so they're nice and well, just so they're all good and greased basically. Now with these on the Aprilias, the retaining ring with each one of these, you can see there's a little notch in it. They need to line up with these notches on here. So the best thing to do, stick them back in, get your ring. You know what, I might put a bit of grease on the ring as well. Just a smooth bit of grease. All around, a bit of grease all around your ring. Get it all around there. Pop that on. We're going to make sure they are all lined up nicely. Beautiful. A little bit of grease on this side of the ring as well. Beautiful. Right. Now we lay our sprocket on. Nice like that. Getting all that grease in here, lovely. So even that pops out. Get loads of grease in there. And also around here too. That's it. I'll clean my hands off. And we get our wheel spacer in there. It's all greased up nicely. Boom. That goes on. Now these nuts have to be torqued to 50 Newton meters. I work in Newton meters because I'm in the UK. So we'll wind these up. Now, with these ones, on a lot of bikes, you just tighten these up on here, as are, or as is. But on these Aprilias, because you've got separate push pins, I suppose they are, you've got to torque them up and make sure they sit in them grooves nicely. So now I've got to get my torque wrench, and there's Allen key bolts. Like I say, on the back of here, for an Allen key. Put it on there because it's going to scratch. Just move my wheel out of the way. There you go, you see. So go in the back. And tilt this up. Remember, we've got to get them bits lined up on the back of the shim as well. It. So they're all torqued up lovely. Again, I'm going to put a little bit more grease on them because I've obviously taken some off now. There we go. Beautiful. So remember, grease your ring and make sure your nuts are tight. I think as this is now, that sprocket is ready to go back on. But what I'm going to do first is take this time to clean this filthy wheel. So I'll be back with you in a minute. Alright, there's now one clean wheel. I forgot they were that colour. Alright, so next up, this is all greased, sprocket's all on. These are all torqued up to 50 Newton meters, wheels all lovely and clean. Next thing we want to do is the front sprocket. So, we've taken off the old one. Now again, this bolt here is going to be the same as the rear sprocket torque setting, which is 50 Newton meters. So what we do, but also what you want to do, is you want to put some medium strength Loctite on these threads. Don't go mad on it, just put a bit on there just for a bit of security, so that'll lock into there nicely. Let's get the new sprocket and get that on. So looking at this old sprocket, that was the side that went on, which has got the bigger cush on there, the bigger recess. So with this one, I'm guessing that back one is right. So we're going to stick that on. Or not. There we go. I'm starting to think that didn't fit then. I'm just going to double check, pop that off, put the old one on, see how that used to sit. Yeah, and that sits flush as well. Flush on there. So the new sprocket. Bob. Bob's your uncle. And I'll get some Loctite to put on there. Here we go. So just medium strength, it's usually blue. Just put a little bit on there. That's it. That'll do. And get your bolt. And screw him in. Okay, so just so it's nipped like that, because we're going to have to torque that to 50 Newton meters once we've got the rest on. So now next we are going to be putting the rear wheel back on. So let's get to that. Alright, so I've already got the wheel and the caliper in onto the disc. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the back of these sliders. So just so it keeps it nice, moving nicely. Most stuff that's going to move metal on metal is worth putting a bit of grease on. And again on this side. And this has got quite a bit of grease on it anyway from where I changed my tyre on it not long ago. I'm going to put some more on as well. Again, can't hurt, can it? There you go. Lovely. Now, this is the fun part. Now we've got to lift it all on and get that shaft through at the same time. Get it through your swing arm, through your brake caliper holder or carrier, out to the other side while it's covered in grease. Yay! Get your little rubber mallet. Okay, that is through, and this is why we're slacking everything off anyway, so you've got plenty of movement. Go. Washer. Where have we not just go? Here he is. Alright. Slide that up as far as it can go. Like so. Now's the scary bit. We've got to put a new chain on and rivet it. Alright, so now we're going to feed the new chain through. I've sat there and I've counted every link on these chains. I've got 110 on this one and 110 on the old one. So, should be all good, he says, hopefully. So, what we've done is we're going to feed the chain through. Until we end up with the links together like that. Space for your extra link. It's saggy as anything. I'm hoping it is the right length. We shall find out soon. So now what we need to do is get the master link in there with your rivet tool. So I'll be back in one sec. Alright, so for your master link, here's your master link. What we're going to be doing, you can't really see on my gloves there, we're getting these little X-ring washers. Oops. We're going to grease all in here, all up the splines, and then put the washers on, and then grease on top of the washers as well, and then we will put that onto the link of the chain. You get this grease that comes with it. I'm just going to put a bit on here. Doing chains is just a filthy job. Get an O-ring, slip him in there, another one, slip him on there, squeeze a bit more grease on them, and like that, to make sure they're all greased up lovely, jubbly. Alright, now we take this over to the bike. Load of grease around the shafts a bit. Don't be stingy. Just slap it on there. Then we're going to feed this through the back of these links. Beautiful. There we go. Now, clean my hand up. This is the scary part. What I want to do now is I'm going to put grease on here and on here. Alright. Right, you get your second O-rings. Stick them over the top of that. Over the top of that. Again, more grease. Lovely. And you get your master link plate. Just sit it over the top like that for now. There we go. Now, with a chain, you have to press this link in to the same thickness, of these links. So you want to verniers measure distance to that link, and then we're going to press this one to exactly the same. Do it slowly because you do not want to go over the top with it, otherwise you end up having to start again or even get a new chain because you might have to cut it off. So let's get my tool and get started. So link next to it is 20.6 millimeters. Link the other side of it is 20.6 millimeters. Let's check another one. 20.5. There you go. 20.6, 20.5. So I need to get that squished in to the same as what they are. If you overdo it, you're going to be crushing the washers and you're not going to have a smooth chain going around. So let's get my chain tool. So now, what you get now is you get a plate like that with a pin. That's going to be going in there. Pop. And you get another plate like that, which is going to sit in there. That will sit on the back of the chain. It's got a little groove in it for your rivets. Then I'm going to screw this handle into there for a bit of leverage. Boom. And then we're going to try and locate this. You just want to make sure that you are lined up with the holes for where the rivets are going to come through. I think it was a 14mm spanner. Yeah. And then we are going to twist. Oops. Gear might help. That's it. I'm just going to check that. Right, I know that ain't right. Just go, take your time with it, because it needs to be right. I think I could probably do with a pinch more, but where's my checker? Check. God damn it, there it is. The one next to it was 20.5. This is 21.2. Yeah, still got to go some. That is bang on, he says. So now what we have to do, I don't like this bit. So we've now got to flare these out to the same width as these. I think with these chains it's about, I can't remember what it is now, 5.5 mil, something like that. You see what the other ones are. Yeah, 5.7 they are. At the moment we're on 5.2. So that one's 5.5. 5.6. No, 5.7. No, it's 5.7. It's 5.3. We've got to splay these out to about 5.7 then. That's it, 5.7. Alright. Now to do that, you need another bit of your tool now. You get this pin. She's got a rounded end on it. And it's going to splay it. Now, I used this on my last bite. I'm not sure if it's blunted it a bit, but we shall find out, won't we? So we need for this. Yep. So you need your spring again. You're going to stick him in the bottom of there. Pop. Get your pin. Drop him in there. Get your winder into the top. Just have them sitting out a bit like that. I'll go a little bit more. Bucket. There we go. And then you need an anvil on the back, which will fit. I believe it's this one for me. And then that'll fit on the back rivet like that. Okay. You can see that. You can see. It'll fit on there. Nice and snug. So then that goes in here on your tool. Pop. Okay. Oh, sounds like my curry's here. So let's get on the back of this one. And then wind your tool in. So then you are sitting like that. You know what? You get your little bar, stick him in there. Oh, got curry. And then you got to twist this up. Then what we need to do is, once you've got it in like that, oh, I can't even see it there. You've got your anvil on the back, you've got your splayer on the front, you've got your bar in it, and we're going to just press that just about a quarter of a turn each time, and yeah, and splay it out, and then we check it. So there we go. 5.7. That one is now at 5.4. Need a little bit more. 5.7, 5.6, 5.7, 5.7, 5.7. So on to number 2. That's probably done now. 5.7, 5.7, 5.7, 5.7, 5.7. All right, there you go. That is your link all flared. What's the next step? It's probably something that you all know how to do anyway. Is I am going to have to tighten this bolt up. I'm going to torque that to 50 newton meters, and I've got to tie the chain up. So let's get on with that then. Hey! Alright, I'm just going to lock this up to 50 newton meters. So I've already actually done. Let's show you. There you go. That is done. Lovely. Right, time to put front cover sprocket cover, front cover sprocket, the front sprocket cover back on. Right, so your front sprocket cover bolts are 12 newton meters tightness, and don't forget to put your spline back on your gear linkage where it was, and to clip your wire into the little clip which is on this. So that's it. Now we've got to adjust the chain. Right, so chain adjustment. I know for a fact on this one that the slack on the chain, which is this, should be 30 millimeters, and that'll be from the top of it to the bottom of it. Should be 30 millimeters of slack on that. I know that because it says it on there. Now I've only just got this actually, but I've used it once and it's pretty good. It's called True Tension Chain Monkey. Now basically what this does is it gives you little readings. If I can get this cap off. Got little numbers in there, and then you look on their chart and it corresponds that number with a certain amount of slack on your chain, so you just look it up. Now I know that this one is for 30 millimeters it's just roughly about just over the 1, so I've put a little stopper on that, so I know once I get that, the bottom of the nut to just over the 1, like so, it should be about right. And how you use it is you click your chain monkey over the top of the chain. I'll de-adjust it now. Over the top like that, get it in between a link and then tying it up to where my rubber bung is, where I set it, which is just over the 1. Just about there. Okay. Right. Now then, what you do from there is you now adjust your adjusters until the chain is tight. So you can't move it. So I might move that along actually. Alright. Now I'm going to adjust this so the chain is tight. Where's my 10mm? There he is. Okay, my justice. And also with this bike, I have notches all along here. If I get out the same on both sides, I know my wheel is aligned. You can use alignment tools which go on the sprocket, and they can either ping a laser down so you can get your front sprocket in line with your back sprocket, but sometimes when I've used them they don't tend to be completely right. Like if I use it, then I'll be well out on these, like 1 or 2 notches, and it's I don't know, I think I'd rather trust this, to be honest. So anyway, let's adjust this up so it's tight. Okay, so that's pretty tight, you can see, pretty solid. Now what I'll do, I am going to just move that to there, and on the other side I'm going to tighten this rear nut up a bit. The actual torque setting on this rear nut, in the manual it states 120. There's a lot of controversy about that, where people say that that is too tight and it can mess your bearings up. So they come to a compromise of 100 newton meters. I'm going to go a little bit more, maybe 105, 110, just to make the difference up basically. So but yeah, bear that in mind, that 120 newton meters is far too much. So yeah, I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit. So let's put this up. Right, that's actually torqued up to 110 now. And then what you do is you now slacken this chain monkey off. Yeah. You pop that off. That should be 30mm of play. But using one of these, like I say, they're pretty good. I wouldn't say they're 100% accurate. So I'm going to measure it and let's see. Measure your chain, your centre point out there with your swing arm in between your 2 sprockets. Lift the chain all the way up. I'm at 30mm. Push it all the way down with 60mm. Just over. Probably do with a tiny little bit of tightening. It's 30. Let's have a look. 32mm, 62mm, so bang on 30. I'm going to give it a little bit of a tighten because these chain will stretch a little bit in first place. So I'm only going to go a couple of mil, nothing major. I like that, that is good. Alright, so it's a handy little tool to have because it gets you 90% there, you know. So, and also with it clamped on there, you can tighten up the rear nut and your wheel don't move, because you know, everybody knows that's a pain in the arse when you've got it all adjusted where you want it and you tighten your rear nut up and it's gone out. So add a little tool to have this true tension chain monkey. So there we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a chain and sprocket on an Aprilia RSV 4. listen peeps, I hope that was alright for you. If it's helped anybody out there, that's great. If not, I just thought I'd go through it with you because I've not done it before on this bike, so learning curve for me as well. I think it went pretty sweet. Seems alright, it's looking lovely. Nice. I do like the gold, I do like it. Bit of a tart anyway. But yeah, if you want me to do any more videos of when I'm working on my bikes and that, just let me know in the comments down below or whatever, and subscribe to my channel if this helps. I've got a Suzuki as well, GSX S750, which I do a bit of work on, so I'll do one on that as well. I've already done the chain and sprockets on that the other day, so I should have done that really. But anyway, I just hope it helped somebody out there. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Laters.
Let's